What's up? So this is episode 10, correct? Of Natural Born Growth Hackers. It's 10, right? Just to make sure.
I think so.
Yeah, so we're on episode 10 of Natural Born Growth Hackers. We've not done a podcast episode in about a month, I would say, right, Joe?
Yeah, it's about a
It's been
month.
about a month, yeah. So, sorry for that, but we're back and we've been rolling. We've actually got a lot of updates. Me and Joe, we both founded an agency. I've been doing marketing for over 5 years now, so I thought it just made sense. I love helping entrepreneurs. I love helping agents. I love helping startups, and it makes me happy that I can actually put more money in other people's pockets. So I was, really excited to get into this, and we're actually both part of an accelerator program. And I know Joe's got some updates on the real estate side. You want to jump into that too as well?
Yeah, so in the past month, I've had two closings and two new listings. So I had a closing, I helped out a friend, sold their house, and then they bought a new house up in West Palm. And then I also had a closing on a duplex for a house hack. So a house hack, if people don't know, is essentially either you buy a single family house, duplex, triplex, or quadplex, and you rent out either the other rooms or the other units, and they pay your entire mortgage. So essentially living for free. So this person's just barely living for free. The other unit pays their entire mortgage. And then in terms of the new listings, got a new listing from, oddly enough, Instagram, and it's in Deerfield Beach, single family house, 300,000 if anyone wants it, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's completely redone. And then I also have a listing in Boynton Beach, it was a for sale by owner.
Yeah. So also too on the real estate side, we decided. So Joe himself actually convinced me if he wants to go to join EXP, and honestly, their whole revenue share model that they have set up, that's kind of like really convinced me to come over and you know utilize my license again. But basically, we started our own group. It's called NBGH Agent Group at EXP, brokered by EXP, of course. And we really want to take this brand right here, to the moon. That's the goal here. And we know how much growth hacking has an impact to take whatever you're part of to the next level. And that's why we decided to start this NBGH agent group, and we want to take this to the moon just as well as any other venture that we're part of that comes out of NBGH agent, or just natural born growth hackers in general. It's really just an umbrella.
Kind of tell them about the funnels and different things that they'll get for joining us at EXP and kind of all the benefits and things.
Yeah, so I made 3 custom funnels, 3 click funnels, and that's a buyer, a seller, and also a recruiting funnel. And if you actually want to get access to that, just go on your Facebook right now and you can actually search Ultimate Agent Growth Hacker, and you'll be prompted to join our Facebook group that we created and we monitor. And I actually have my own experience. I built up a Facebook group to almost 13,000 people that I kind of utilize sort of offhand. It's a Florida State University Facebook group that I started at my first real estate tech startup. And essentially what this is going to do for us, it's called group funneling, but it's really going to help people as well utilize our own funnels for joining our group. And you basically just go, it's a cookie cutter funnel that we created, but it's a proven and tested one as well for buying, selling, and also recruiting leads. But yeah, if you want to be part of our group at EXP, there's a lot that you're going to get out of it. And we're also part of the Paul Saperstein team, so he gets a ton of resources that you get for joining us, which is directly underneath him as well. Yeah, so Joe, you want to tell him more about NBGH Media?
Yeah, so let's go back. The way we thought about it was when we talked about real estate and I got Chris to finally come on to EXP, he's like, well, what are we going to do for leads? I was like, well, I'm making cold calls and I'm working TikTok a ton. And he's like, well, how many phone calls can you make in a day? I was like, maybe 200, 300 calls in a day. At that point, I'm burnt out and tired of getting cursed out. And he's like, dude, if you use the internet and the power of marketing and retargeting, SEO, SEM, all these different things, he's like, it's evergreen. You're going to literally be marketing and cold calling all day long, 24/7. So I started doing some more homework on it and just learning some more, and then just saw the power of it and how much it could literally scale and take your business to the next level. The biggest resource you have is you, and there's only one of you. And if you're running all over the place, because there'll be days, I'm not going to lie, where I just don't get to make cold calls because I'm running all over the place. But when you use the power of the internet and marketing, it really takes you to the next level. And Chris being an expert in it and just kind of being able to share all of his knowledge with me and just helping me to learn about it and kind of see where we're at and what we can do and how we can possibly help other agents, and not only agents but businesses in general. It's just like, this is a golden opportunity.
Yeah, no, definitely. And also too, I mean, one thing in the past that I've always talked about is it's focus. It's always been a struggle for myself, and I'm not saying focusing on like one thing, but like, I'm not saying focusing on like, doing something. I'm saying focusing on one thing only and getting that one thing accomplished. It's always been a struggle myself because, being an entrepreneur, we have all these ideas every single day. I'll text them, dude, what about this? What about that? And I always like, there's so many resources that I have access to right now that I'm just putting in the back burner because I know like if I go and I pursue that, I'm going to be down this new rabbit hole that I just get stuck in sometimes. But basically, I'm learning how to, like, I guess way you could say it is shred your business fat. And yeah, exactly. Build, measure, learn, but like focusing on one thing to build, measure, and learn. And that one thing now, it's NBGH right here. Our podcast, our agency, and our group is my only focus right now. And just providing marketing services for every single venture that I possibly can. And speaking of that, so actually on Monday, I signed acquisition papers for my dating app, Dive Live Dating. It has now been acquired by LuvHut. Their CEO, Corey, I met him on a industry like leader dating call about a year and a half ago. And the call really turned into this like, this conversation almost between myself and Corey, where at the time I still am the CEO of Dive technically, but now I have this new role of head of growth, where I'm just going to be helping with the marketing essentially. But we did an equity deal, so Dive was actually acquired by LuvHut, which is a booming startup, and one of the main reasons that I was so confident and handing the keys over to Corey, and also of course he's getting all of our users that we were able to acquire. I did this because of his confidence, but mainly his focus and his perseverance. He's, it's hard to be a founder, and it's way harder to be a tech founder. And what he's been able to do with LuvHut and go through that tech accelerator that he's part of right now out of Boston, I'm very confident that he's going to take this to the next level. So, I did what every, hard decision entrepreneur has to make, and I decided to, hand the keys over for Dive to LuvHut, the CEO of LuvHut, Corey. And I'm still going to be, helping with the marketing and whatnot, but now it's going to lead way for me to, really focus on building up NBGH Media. And I'm still going to be helping entrepreneurs. I'm going to be helping Corey, take LuvHut to the moon, essentially. Well, we're going to be helping Corey take LuvHut to the moon with our marketing tactics that we have.
Yeah, kind of talk to him about like just marketing in general and like the difference that NBGH has in terms of marketing compared to all these other marketing companies out there.
Yeah, so we take a very unique, like multifaceted approach. So let's say, for example, you want to generate leads for real estate or for solar, or for whatever it may be. Mainly what they do is they really just charge you to manage your ads, essentially. And a lot of these companies, they have these crazy high, retainers. We don't do that here at MBGH. We just focus on this multifaceted approach of our SEO, which is search engine optimization, our SEM, which is search engine marketing, and our retargeting. And then we also have other services like, geofencing. We even do some email marketing as well. And I've seen that help out, a lot of different, even restaurants actually. That's one big tactic for farming like areas, helping out restaurants. But
even Domino's does it. Think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And they do. And like, there's been multiple times where I got an email about like some new item on the menu or something, and I was like, what, I'd rather do that tonight than cooking up some fire food or whatever. But
Steak on the carnivore diet.
Yeah, just ordering steak. Maybe they got like a discounted steak on an email, but it's usually pizza. I feel like that does that the most.
Yeah, thinking about it, pizza, Uber, or like Uber Eats. Those are probably the two biggest ones.
Yeah, for sure. But basically, right now, like we're really focusing on like we're using that by agents for agents mentality because we're both agents ourselves and we've been there. We've been cold calling, we've been door knocking before, and it works, but it's not scalable. You'd have to have so many Joes and Chris's to be able to do that. And this gives you the ability to just throw fuel on the fire essentially, and that's why we started NBGH. I've actually been screwed over before by a marketing agency. I'm not going to say the name, but there is ways that people can deceive you and trick you into going to one of these massive agencies, and we're trying to prevent that for realtors or just really anyone. Like our Facebook group right now is kind of geared towards the agent mentality, so
Right.
insurance agencies, brokerages, obviously realtors, and then mortgage lenders as well.
Kind of tell them about I mean, technically SEO and stuff it's still relatively new. It doesn't feel like that, but it's in the grand scheme of things, it is new, and like internet marketing is new. Kind of tell them, let's talk about like how we want to set them up to eventually not even need us.
Yeah, so that's really the goal here. And other agencies, they mainly, when they focus on your lead generation, they're mainly just focusing on running and managing your ads, and they'll probably take even like a 50% cut of that ad spend. And what we're doing, it's a lot different. Like our packages, if you do come with like the full package that we have for our agent growth tagger package, essentially we're setting you up to organically rank higher. So when you do stop paying for our services, you're still gonna be getting leads that come in organically to your website, whether it's through KV Core or the funnels that you have set up, whatever it may be. We're gonna rank you higher through SEO, SEM, and the retargeting that we have set up for you, so you can continue to get those leads even after you stop paying for our services. And most lead generation companies, they just focus mainly on booking you calls in the short term. We're focusing on setting you up for success in the long term.
Yeah, we want to teach you guys about copywriting, which is literally the text on all the ads, just the different creatives, like just all the things that are associated with ads underneath it. There's just so many different nuances of it. It can be overwhelming, but at the same time, we don't want to like take over and do everything for you. We want to help you and kind of guide you through the process. Yes, in the beginning we will, but at the end of the day, like Chris said, it's a long-term play, not a short-term play.
Yeah, 100%. There's always different things that you can do to boost your ranking or generate more leads through different mechanisms, but we are a full service ad agency, so we can even offer social media management. Like, we have the resources to do that, and we're here to help really anyone. And we want to scale this thing to the moon. Like I said, like our goal is to make this $1 billion ad agency that's really helping out small businesses and people that are just sole entrepreneurs that they don't know even like what step to take in the very beginning. Because I mean, like I said, I've been scammed before. I've been scammed a handful of times actually, and it's not very fun. But I have been scammed by a marketing agency, especially, and that is the worst because it's like they're here to help you, and when they,
empty promises.
yeah, exactly. There's no guarantees. There's actually long-term contracts. Like we don't do that here at MBGH. That's the whole goal here. We also are not on a retainer, so
Yeah, it's a big thing.
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about let's kind of backtrack and just go back to how we're helping agents in a sense. Like let's kind of explain to them what we're doing for agents and showing them exactly.
Yeah, so also tell them too about so we're actually in an agency accelerator program right now. So that's one big thing. That's we're learning a lot of new things, but a lot of new things for us to generate our own leads. But one of those things that we learned, it's called group funneling, and essentially group funneling is you create a Facebook group and you give them some kind of resource, and our resource that we chose because I'm very familiar with and I pretty much am an expert at this point, is building funnels. So like we discussed earlier, we created these custom proven and tested buyer, seller, and recruiting funnels. We have the same recruiting funnel set up for our website for nbghagent.com/opt-in. That's the link to actually join our group here at EXP. But we gave these same realtors access to these funnels for free. And there is one, caveat to it. You have to have a ClickFunnels account. But you could use these funnels really in any other platform as well.
Yeah, and the name of the group is
It's Ultimate Agent Growth Hacker.
Growth Hacker. I'm thinking of the Natural Born Growth Hackers Agency or Media.
I mean, yeah, like you join that group and you get free access to all these different resources. And
We'll link it below as well, just in case you guys want to go look for it.
yeah, we're also going to be like, putting way more other resources in this group too, because, I mean, anyone knows a realtor group, like there's so many different opportunities that you can get from it. Like I said before, like the referrals, like we're going to be connecting with people all over, the United States. And I mean, we can even go outside the United States too. Canada's right there. EXP's a big brokerage in Canada too. But it's just more opportunity for you to learn how to generate leads without paying for services. But also, if you do, want to figure out how to, fill those funnels with high intent qualified leads, we're here to help you as well.
Yeah, like at the end of the, like we said before, our goal is to teach you every single way to do it, and obviously sometimes you just don't have the time to do it. So that's when you bring in or ask for help from someone else, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. You want to talk more about how we've been filling the Facebook group?
Yeah, so we've been pretty much hustling, going balls to the wall, just with organic outreach. So we started off inviting our friends, kind of realized that our friends don't really like joining our group. So then we started just really reaching out to realtors in Florida. We started on Facebook, adding everyone as a friend, reaching out, just kind of getting to know, like, hey, what are your goals for this year? Is there anything we can do to help? And then from there, inviting them to the group if they're a good fit. And then we've also done the same thing on LinkedIn. So I think Chris has done every single EXP agent in the state of Florida on LinkedIn. Is that right?
Almost. So I think I'm at like, I think there's a few left. There's only 400 that were in my whatever second connection I think it was. But I mean I maxed out 2 weeks in a row. So the third week I'm definitely gonna send out an invite to everyone on LinkedIn.
I mean, within a week we've got already 47 people in the group.
Yeah, 47 now.
So it's not bad from literally just organic outreach.
It's been exactly a week today because we started on Friday.
So that's pretty much how we've grown. I mean, obviously within our accelerator they say you can pay for ads, but I mean that doesn't go with natural
the cost per acquisition for apparently an addition to your group. It's $10 to $20. If you multiply that, it's $450 to $900 potentially. I mean, I'd rather just DM people on Facebook than pay for their services.
Yeah, I mean, we're even going to start doing like actual cold calls and cold text and emails this week. I mean, we're starting to put together a list of realtors that we think that we can target who would actually benefit from this. I mean, we don't want people who aren't producing and are just kind of energy suckers at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're also working with State Farm is one of the companies, and we're also working with Growing Edge, which is a landscaping company. They do very high ticket items, and it's based out of Tennessee. So we're not just focusing on real estate. We're going to take on other clients as well. But our main niche that we're focusing on, because we've been there, we've been in those shoes, is helping realtors in the long term.
At the end of the day, it's pretty much anyone who's in a service-based business, because at the end of the day, that's what realtors are, and we just want to help them to create leads so they can help people at the end of the day.
Yeah, I also want to talk about LuvHut just for a little bit too, because I know I briefly mentioned Dive was acquired by LuvHut, but LuvHut is really like this, like a very similar version of what we built for our MVP. MVP again stands for minimal viable product. We launched it in Tallahassee in December 2020, and we really got growth in like April, and we focused on getting leads and testing users and whatnot. That was like my baby startup, I would say, like my real first tech startup where I was the founder. And first time founder is gonna fail 9 times out of 10, I would say. But I mean, I didn't fail, really. I like I said a million times in every single podcast, probably, you can't fail unless you quit. And I didn't quit. I reached out to somebody that I was in their network, and I liked his confidence, and I liked his head, and I liked his focus and his direction, and I was able to basically show him like the opportunity that the Dive users have, and I really like the direction that LuvHut's going. So what LuvHut is though.
Why did you reach out in the beginning?
You're saying like initially?
Yeah, why'd you reach out to him? I mean, if it was your baby, why didn't you just keep going?
I guess I was curious to see where he was going and like what stage he was at. So he has not released the product to this day. But the thing is, his product, I think it's going to be a lot better than what Dive was able to put together, because the resources that he has with his own tech accelerator The person that's building his app, he's already built, 3 apps before this with like he's got exits too. So he's someone that he's just a better CTO than we probably had, I would say. And I'm not shaming anyone here. It's just complete honesty. But I just think that Corey, like the direction that he's taking LuvHut, it's going to do very well. And disrupting an industry, that's what entrepreneurs like us live for. That's why we're disrupting the ad agency industry, because we have all these people focusing on lead generation. We're doing that too, but we're not just doing it in the sense of basically just offering ad management and taking the money from it. But yeah, I mean, I like what LuvHut's doing, and if anyone doesn't know what LuvHut is, they're launching their beta very soon. But it's basically a way for singles to book dates at dating hotspots through an app, and also too, everyone is background checked and verified through a third-party service that they have on the app. So for you to even be able to use it, you have to go through this process of getting verified. So it's really heavy on the safety. And I mean, I've seen people that I've heard stories through interviews that we did for Dive of people getting robbed at gunpoint on Tinder. So it definitely could still happen, I would say, but it's a lot more difficult when you're going through a background check to be able to use the services that are on here.
And people would probably feel a whole lot safer meeting someone that they know is like.
Yeah. Also too, it's in person. But they're gonna have they have a double side to this whole thing too. So there's the focus on the restaurants, and the restaurants actually have to subscribe to them. So I believe they're charging $200 per month to be able to become a dating hotspot. But I mean, like, the value that you're gonna get being like a dating hotspot, like, these people are only gonna have options to book at those restaurants,
Right.
in those bars. So
And they're gonna spend money.
they're gonna spend money. Yeah. What do you do when you go on a date? You usually have some drinks. I mean, I preferably don't like to do that, but it usually ends up happening. I would say it's just a good icebreaker.
Everyone just feels a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. But yeah, so I mean, they're launching in. They're supposed to be launching in a few weeks. Their beta, so it's gonna be, and also too, like, the market that they're in is the Boston Northeast area. So I'm gonna be helping. We're gonna be helping with a lot of their marketing as well, and I'm gonna be the head of growth for LuvHut, and I really see the opportunity of LuvHut, doing pretty well. And if you look at like these other dating apps, like Tinder, Bumble, obviously there's the biggest two out there, and Hinge. It's just only a matter of time of you disrupting enough of the market that you're gonna start seeing offers. Because also too, it's not a free version that he's offering. You got to pay right off the rip, which is
Well, that already eliminates.
yeah,
People that aren't
exactly.
serious.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, if you're serious, you're someone that really wants to be in the dating atmosphere, you got to pay for it. And I like that model that he has, honestly, because to be honest, the only dating app that I currently use myself right now is Hinge, and I do not pay for that. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. You just max out sending likes. I think you only send like maybe 20. I'm not even sure of the number, to be honest.
I don't know. I know you can get like the unlimited, like you can pay for it, obviously.
Yeah. I just like the direction that he's taking with it, and it's like it sounds like Dive when I talk about it.
It sounds like Dive, and then kind of like mixed with, I guess, eHarmony in a sense, because eHarmony you got to pay for, and it's the only dating thing I know that you got to pay for. So then it's kind of like a nice mix.
Yeah, I like that though, that little nuance that it's mandatory to pay for, because like you said, like, you're eliminating a lot of people that they're probably not serious. Like, if you're serious, you're usually gonna pay for it, and love and sex are two of the biggest things that people will put money out there for, and fulfillment, obviously. I think that's pretty much it for this podcast. We're looking forward to the next one. You want to add anything, Joe? It won't be a month, yeah, it'll be a week. Do you want to add anything? Or
Yeah, I mean, that's it. We'll drop the link below for our agency website as well as our NBGH Media, just so you guys can get a better idea. And if there's any questions you guys have, definitely drop them in the comments. We're happy to help.
Also, too, yeah, I'm building a course this weekend. It's going to be the Ultimate Funnel Hacker course, and I'm also going to create a funnel for Natural Born Growth Hacker is just a website that takes people to our agency and also our brokerage that we have set up here at EXP. So um, that should be done this weekend as well. So looking forward to seeing anyone over there, but look forward to the next call.
Yep, we'll see you guys next week.